Hey DQ fans, make this Father's Day one to remember with the DQ cake. Treat him to a fudge and crunch center and layers of DQ soft serve because the big guy deserves it, and so do you. Order yours today, only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
This is Nick Alexander from Alexander BMW, hand-picked and beautifully pampered. Check out Nick's wholesale district lease and finance offers through BMW FS on every certified pre-owned BMW. Call 800-800-NICK or go to alexanderbmw.com. And remember, Nick can't say no.
Hey, it's Stepper Mark. You and your loved ones deserve an outdoor space that makes you smile, not cringe. As your #1 designer and installer of elegant outdoor living systems, System Pavers can help create an outdoor space you love. Contact them today and they'll kick off your remodel by demolishing your old hardscape absolutely free. Get started by calling 800-PAVE-004 right now. That's 800-PAVE-004 or SystemPavers.com.
All orders must be placed by June 30th. See website for details. Contractor's license 661575.
Hey, SoCal. Going out for a drink? I'm attorney Darren Kapinoki of 1-800-NO-CUFFS. Better have your seatbelts on, your front license plate attached, and your registration handy. Don't give them a reason. 1-800-NO-CUFFS. Because no one looks good in handcuffs, unless you're into that sort of thing. 1-800-NO-CUFFS.
I'm not going to tell you garage door looks hideous, but we know what your neighbors are thinking. You got to call Caliber Garage Doors right now. A new garage door will instantly improve the curb appeal and value of your home. It's the biggest door on your house. Be one of the first 11 callers to get $200 off any garage door. $200 off, and they'll include free installation, bottom seals, haul away, and pay your sales tax. Dial pound 250 on your cell phone and say Caliber Garage Doors. That's pound 250, Caliber Garage Doors, CaliberGarageDoors.com.
New York State, they have suspended their gas tax for the rest of the year.
It's 16 cents, and we're at 51, and they won't give us a break on the 51.
Nothing. In fact, July 1st, it's going up. Newsom does not fear anything.
He's 100% certain he's getting reelected. John and Kev. So look what happens.
Weekdays at 2 on KFI.
KFI AM 640 Handle here. Wednesday morning, June 15th, we continue with Handle on the News. Oh, by the way, Handle on the News this morning is brought to you by the lemon law experts at Knight Law Group. If you think your car might be a lemon, call the folks at Knight Law Group. Call 844-43-LEMON. That's 844-43-LEMON.
This is the first bill approved unanimously by the Senate a month ago, and it was passed by the House nearly a week ago. This all comes after an armed man was arrested near Justice Brett Kavanaugh's home, and now Congress has passed this bill to provide more security for the Supreme Court justice's family. Handel, you've talked a lot about this, about how we've escalated now. It's not just protesting outside the Supreme Court, but it's going to the specific home of the justice that you want to protest against.
And threats. And threats.
That's it. It's escalated into the chanting, into the protesting, into the threat. It's just a whole new, level that we're on right now.
Yeah, and it was one of the Democrats, Ted Lieu, said, and should have taken it a week instead of several weeks. But the issue was, how far does the protection go? Supreme Court justices, absolutely. That's never been an issue. Families now, yes. Democrats want clerks, their families protected. I mean, how far down do you go? Because it has become so crazy out there. People are nuts. It's that simple. We've reached levels that are just insane. And, of course, everybody has a weapon. Let's not forget that, too. So it's nuts, polarization, plus everybody has a weapon. Boy, what a cocktail that one is. Boy, there's your mix. Put all that in a blender and see what you get.
Well, up in Sacramento, they are debating Senate Constitutional Amendment 10. And that would put it in the California Constitution that you have a right to an abortion and to contraception.
And again,
they're worried about what's going to happen with Roe v. Wade and other related. They better put in there that you have a right to have gay sex and a right to have sex toys too. These are all things that could go away theoretically if you believe the slippery slope should Roe v. Wade be overturned. Also, we all talk about, if it's overturned, a decision is coming that might overturn. They're overturning it.
Yeah, it's a question of to what level. Are they
The only thing, do you think they're going to go from that draft to never mind?
No. I think what they may do, that's an initial draft by one of the staunchest conservative, always has been anti-Roe v. Wade justices. It's either going to be a straight-on Roe v. Wade is gone, finished, legal concept, chow baby, to a, well, we'll sort of pretend it's there in a very minimalist way, but we are the only for precedent's sake, and that's just keeping the concept but taking away all of its teeth to where it effectively is de facto gone. That's the only issue. You know, for example, a woman had, yeah, let's say you got states, I think this is Florida, maybe it was Nevada, Arizona, where, okay, a woman still has the absolute right to an abortion. However, the law that says that any hospital that can religiously argue no abortion can say no. Also, a doctor has to have privileges. And if the only hospital within 30 miles or 50 miles is a religious hospital, and a doctor cannot have privileges there, therefore abortion, you can't obtain it. Also, you have to have clinics have to have the same level of protection as hospitals do, the same level of safety as hospitals do, even though it's a simple outpatient procedure. So you can go, if you uphold all of that, but woman still has a fundamental right, she just can't go any place to do it. That's what might happen.
So that's what they're trying to do in Sacramento, is at least in California, no one would ever be able to do what you're talking about. Make it functionally impossible.
Correct.
All right, I just got this in from the Associated Press. An FDA advisory panel has endorsed Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine now for teenagers and school-aged kids. And then also on the COVID note, we've got the number of people in LA County with COVID-19 infections in hospitals that has gone up. Health officials are urging people and businesses to wear masks. LA County Health Director Barbara Ferrer says the county could go into the high virus activity category by the end of June if these numbers continue to go up in the hospitals. And she says if the county stays in the high risk category for 2 weeks, the county would impose the indoor mask mandate again.
Does anybody have any idea which vaccine works with which group, what dosage, 5 to 7, 12 and up, elderly people, you need 1, you need 2, what's effective, what isn't, Moderna, Pfizer? I have no idea at this point.
It's getting very sticky, I guess you could say, because it was, I guess, Pfizer that had been approved for the teenagers and school-aged kids, but I did not realize that Moderna had not up until this point.
And what of poor, sad Johnson, and also the other poor, sad Johnson? You never even hear about
No,
do you?
They just didn't do it. And
here comes Novavax to steal whatever minimal funder Johnson & Johnson still had.
Pfizer won this war. There's no question about it. And Moderna is now catching up a little bit. And Johnson & Johnson, you're right, is way, way down.
Go back to baby powder.
They even got in trouble with that.
Yeah, oh boy. Okay, there are some pandemic emergency things in the courts here in LA that are going away at the end of the month. What they called the emergency bail schedule is going away. All it did was basically lower the bail amounts for certain crimes to try to keep people out of the jails at the height of the COVID thing. That's going away. It'll go back to the normal existing bail schedules. And then people with traffic stuff, you're not going to be able to do what you've been able to do, which is deal with your traffic ticket online or with a remote appearance. You're going to have to go back to posting bail, which we all think of as paying the ticket. But you know, when you get if you get a speeding ticket and you pay it, technically what you're doing is you're posting bail. Then they call you never think about it because it doesn't matter, but they call your case. You're not there. They go, oh, they forfeit their bail. And then that's how you take care of the ticket.
Yep,
But
and that
there was
bail
a
is
period where
equivalent.
you didn't have to.
Right.
You didn't have to make a payment towards your ticket. Now you're going to have to do it again.
Here's the question: is the bail equivalent to the fine? And I think
Yes.
it's exactly
That is
the
correct.
same. So you forfeit the fine. You prepay
It's
the
like
fine. Yeah.
it's technically different, but it's really you're just paying the fine. Although it rubbed me the wrong way to be like, I'm not a bail jumper. You know what I mean? I'm paying the ticket. I'm agreeing that you caught me. I'm agreeing that I owe this much. But the way technically it is, I jumped bail.
Well, that makes
the bounty hunter.
I mean, that makes when you think about it, it makes sense procedurally because for you to pay, you have to be declared guilty. You can't say I'm not saying guilty or not guilty because the court doesn't have the process by which, or it doesn't work that way. So it's a bail. And you forfeit, and that's just the way it mechanically is. But either way, and it costs you ridiculous amounts of money. Also, there's an argument in terms of the payment of the money. There's so many assessments, those so many court costs that I think the unconstitutional argument works. This is no longer a punishment. This is no longer paying for a fine for wrongdoing. You've just become part of the revenue stream for a city.
There was a court ruling that the city of Los Angeles' parking fee scheme was unconstitutionally excessive.
Because it's just way too much money. I mean, court costs now are 3 times the amount of the official fine. You get a fine of, I got a ticket for texting. Remember that? I was on a bicycle, caught me texting. It was hugely embarrassing. And I said, oh, so it's a $40 ticket, you know? And she laughed. She goes, no. Try $150. That's what you're going to end up paying. I go, it's a $40 ticket. She goes, just wait.
And was she right?
Oh, she was so right. She was actually off. It was like $160-something. Sorry, we're going to come back, and we've got more. In the meantime, let's check in with Jennifer Jones-Lee, live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
2 El Monte police officers have been killed in a shooting. El Monte Mayor Jessica Ancona says people are devastated over the loss of the 2 men.
As our officers do on a daily basis, they were acting as a first line of defense for our community members when they were essentially ambushed while trying to keep a family safe.
Officials say the 2 men were shot at while responding to a possible stabbing in a motel room. They say the man involved in the shooting was killed and another officer involved shooting in the motel parking lot. News is brought to you by veteran-owned Semper Solaris. A man charged with kidnapping, torturing, and raping a woman he held captive at his home for 6 months says he didn't do it. Peter McGuire pleaded not guilty yesterday in Rancho Cucamonga. Last week, a woman escaped from the man's house and told law enforcement she'd been held against her will for months at the home. Some famous people in Hollywood have promised to do their part to control gun violence.
More than 200 writers, actors, producers, and directors have signed a pledge promising to portray guns in a responsible way. Stars like Jimmy Kimmel, Mark Ruffalo, and Amy Schumer have endorsed an agreement called #ShowYourSafety. The petition doesn't ask Hollywood to get rid of guns and gun violence on TV and film completely, but to be more mindful of on-screen weapons and how they are depicted. Deborah Marr, KFI News.
Federal regulators will vote on COVID-19 vaccines for the youngest age group. ABC's Whit Johnson says if approved, the vaccines could be available as early as next week.
This FDA panel is expected to meet, review the data, and then vote on whether to authorize 2 different COVID vaccines, one from Pfizer, one from Moderna, possibly making a shot available for the first time for those youngest kids between 6 months and 5 years old.
A decision would impact 18 million kids. And a study from Cal State Fullerton has linked youth team sports with better mental health, while individual sports performed the opposite.
Researchers examined parent responses from 11,000 9 to 13-year-olds from around the country.
Kids who played only individual sports actually had more mental health problems than kids who played no sports.
Lead researcher Matt Hoffman says parents might want to consider checking the stress levels of kids in individual sports more often.
You might feel more pressure. You don't have teammates to help you and support you.
Other results looked at girls in individual or team sports.
They actually had less rule-breaking behavior than those who played no sports. Things like cheating or the kids would be followed for 10 years to gauge long-term effects.
is dark sadness.
emergency communication system, and four-wheel disc brakes with ABS. The available heads-up display projects an emergency communication system, and four-wheel disc brakes with ABS. The available heads-up display projects and communication system, and four-wheel disc brakes with ABS. The available heads-up display projects simple navigation directions, audio information, and vehicle speed on the windshield in front of the driver. An emergency airbag, communication system, and four-wheel disc brakes with ABS. The available heads-up display projects simple navigation directions, audio information, and vehicle speed on the windshield in front of the driver to keep all eyes on the road.
The 2011 Lexus RX 350. Some vehicles just speak for themselves.
Premiums and four bags, communication system, and four-wheel disc brakes with ABS. The available heads-up display projects simple navigation directions, audio information, and vehicle speed on the windshield in front of the driver to keep all eyes on the road.
The 2011 Lexus RX 350. Some vehicles just speak for themselves.
Security of its passengers with equipment such as front and rear side impact airbags, an emergency communication system, and four-wheel disc brakes with ABS. The available heads-up display projects simple navigation directions, audio information, and vehicle speed on the windshield in front of the driver to keep all eyes on the road.
The 2011 Lexus RX 3
impact airbags, communication communication system, and four-wheel disc brakes with ABS. The available heads-up display projects simple navigation directions, audio information, and vehicle speed on the windshield in front of the driver to keep all eyes on the road.
The 2011 Lexus RX 350. Some vehicles
available heads-up communication system, an emergency communication system, and four-wheel disc brakes with ABS. The available heads-up display projects simple navigation directions, audio information, and vehicle speed on the windshield in front of the driver to keep all eyes on the road.
The 2011 Lexus RX 350. An audio and disc
Lexus ensures the safety and security of its passengers with equipment such as front and rear side impact airbags, an emergency communication system, and four-wheel disc brakes with ABS. The available heads-up display projects simple navigation directions, audio information, and vehicle speed on the windshield in front of the driver to keep all eyes on the road. Lexus bags, an emergency communication system, and four-wheel disc brakes with ABS. The available emergency communication system, and four-wheel disc brakes with ABS. The available heads-up display projects simple navigation directions, audio information, and vehicle speed on the windshield in front of the driver to keep all eyes on the road. Impact air and four-wheel system, communication system, and four-wheel disc brakes with ABS. The available heads-up display projects simple navigation directions, audio information, and vehicle speed on the windshield in front of the driver to keep system, side impact airbags, an emergency communication system, and four-wheel disc brakes with ABS. The available heads-up display projects simple navigation directions, audio information, and vehicle speed on the windshield in front of the driver to keep all eyes on the road.
The 2011 Lexus RX 350. Some vehicles and start the ignition without having to take your keys out of your pocket. The Lexus 9-speaker premium sound system may be controlled via steering wheel mounted audio and display controls.
Lexus ensures the safety and security of its passengers with equipment such as front and rear side impact airbags, an emergency communication system, and four-wheel disc brakes with ABS. The available heads-up display projects simple navigation directions, audio information, and vehicle speed on the windshield in front of the driver to keep all eyes on the road.
The 2011 Lexus RX 350.
Front and rear side impact airbags, an emergency communication system, and four-wheel disc brakes with ABS. The available heads-up display projects simple navigation directions, audio information, and vehicle speed on the windshield in front of the driver to keep all eyes on the road.
The 2011
Lexus ensures the safety and security of its passengers with equipment such as front and rear side impact airbags, an emergency communication system, and four-wheel disc brakes with ABS. The available heads-up display projects simple navigation directions, audio information, and vehicle speed on the windshield in front of the driver to keep all eyes on the road.
The 2011 Lexus RX 350. Some vehicles just speak for themselves.
Bags, an emergency communication system, and four-wheel disc brakes with ABS. The available heads-up display projects simple navigation directions, audio information, and vehicle speed on Lexus side impact airbags, an emergency communication system, and four-wheel disc brakes with ABS. The available heads-up display projects simple navigation directions, audio information, and vehicle speed on the passengers with equipment such as front and rear side impact airbags, an emergency communication system, and four-wheel disc brakes with ABS. The available heads-up display projects simple navigation directions, audio information, and vehicle speed on the windshield in front of the driver to keep all eyes on the road.
The 2011 Lexus RX 350.
Oh, let's do that.
Some vehicles just
Okay.
speak for
Wait 1
themselves.
second. Today I put it right here on the key. Put it in the kitchen.
Oh, good. Good to mind. Oh, that's good. You don't like muffins?
No.
Oh. 张老师不吃 muffin 了。对啊。
Anyway.